And now it is that season. Sharon, Sean, Merry Christmas. We can
Merry
say that
Christmas.
now. We're in December. We can say it now. I mean, the weather is even like, the weather, I'm not sure what it's like on the island, but I mean, over here, the weather is sort of like obliging. We've had to scrape stuff off the cars for the last couple of
Yeah.
days. Everything's been white.
We had
So,
a white frost this morning.
yes.
The first island-wide white frost. Apparently, I was told we've had two localized white frost on the island this year, but this was the first widespread. Everything was a blanket of white when we woke up this morning.
Oh, cool. And so the weather's getting to it. So I guess it's about time we actually spoke about Christmas and talked about something Christmassy. And I'm quite happy that this is what we're talking about. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which we have all seen. We've all partaken of this particular cup of Christmas chair, and we've all seen the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. So, who wants to start talking about what this is about?
You're probably the
Go
best.
toes, you go
Okay.
toes.
All right. Okay. Cool. I'll go with this. So, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and I think for anybody who might be into their geekdom, when you hear sci-fi property holiday special, your mind immediately goes back to the 70s and goes back to the Star Wars holiday special, which is which is infamous for being naff. So naff that George Lucas tried to buy up every copy and bury that this thing ever existed. And I think the fact that they've gone and called this the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, they know exactly what they're doing. They know that they are poking that bear of that memory of this is what it is. So this is the Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel's ragtag group of superheroes who introduced space warfare and space travel into the MCU. And what they have is that this takes place after like Endgame and all that sort of stuff. The Guardians are settling down. Peter Quill is quite sad because in quite in quite short space of time he found his dad, then lost his dad, then lost the love of his life, and he's just sort of like down in the dumps, even though he's kind of like it's like he's in charge of this place nowhere, which is where the Benicio del Toro character, the Collector, used to be. And so the Guardians of the Galaxy are there. They're all hanging out. They're doing the things. Groot has grown a little bit more into yeah. But last time we saw him was like teenage Groot. Now he looks a bit more like bodybuilder Groot.
Yeah.
And it looks more like bodybuilder Groot. So like Rocket is there. You meet Cosmo the dog. But the stars of this are Drax and Mantis. Drax and Mantis, who are probably the stars. When it comes to the Guardians, they're the ones who are always getting the wrong end of the stick. They don't understand sarcasm. They don't understand tone. They don't understand. They don't get anything. And so they go, oh, Peter Quill is actually quite sad. And because there's this whole thing that runs through Guardians of the Galaxy of the fact that Peter Quill was abducted from Earth in the 80s when he was a kid. So all he knows, all the music he listens to is 80s music. All of his references are 80s references. And he has spent ages telling them about how Kevin Bacon is the greatest hero ever because he just keeps talk to them about Kevin Bacon movies. But being Drax and Mantis, and because like sarcasm, I mean the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie has the all-time epic line where where they go, oh don't worry, they say about Drax, they go, don't worry using sarcasm on him, it goes over his head, and he goes, nothing goes over my head, my reflexes are too quick, I would catch it. and, and that is Drax in a nutshell. So Drax doesn't get it. So Drax and Mantis don't realize that Kevin Bacon's an actor. They think Kevin Bacon is actually this real life hero, and so they think, you know what, this Christmas thing that Peter Cook keeps talking about, let's do this thing and let's go get him a Christmas present. Let's get him Kevin Bacon. So Drax and Mantis go to Earth to get Kevin Bacon for Peter Quill as a Christmas present, and that's about the only plot that there is in this thing. That's the only plot that there is in 45 minutes. Is Drax and Mantis go to Earth to get Kevin Bacon for Peter Quill, and things happen. And okay, what do you guys think? Before I carry on, what did you guys think?
Well, I quite enjoyed this. I must say, I did quite enjoy this. I thought it was quite good fun. And I really liked the band in it as well when they
oh yeah, because obviously they're singing in the Star Wars Holiday Special, so they have a couple of songs. They have a couple of songs in this as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I found it really, really good fun. And I enjoyed it. So yeah, I found
Sharon?
it good.
Yeah, no, I find it sort of silly and funny. And it's one of those things like when they talk about Christmas specials, they talk about Christmas and they only ever talk about the secular Christmas. They never talk about any sort of, historical or religious or spiritual reasons for Christmas. It's literally, Christmas is about giving presents to people, making you all happy.
Yes.
And so I find that a bit funny, really, because I'm thinking you've completely missed the whole point of Christmas, why it started in the first place, and you've gone straight to the sort of modern, what we would call all the things that ruin Christmas. So yeah, I found it funny in an ironic way, but also funny because it is just so silly, and the fact that Kevin Bacon plays like a heightened version of himself, almost like the like we see in the adverts for EE. We're familiar with Kevin Bacon as a heightened version of himself.
Yeah.
And he lives in like this classic Hollywood home that you get the feeling there's probably nothing like his real house. It's sort of, it's sort of glass and smooth, sort of shiny floors with Christmas, Christmas turned up to 11 in every room.
Not taking himself too seriously, I think.
No, because I think it was funny. And
I think we've known in the UK for the last decade that Kevin Bacon does not take himself seriously.
Yeah.
We've known that for like the last 10 years.
So yeah, I thought it was silly, funny. Yeah, it did what it's supposed to do, wasn't it? It was like a 45 minutes of cheer with a little bit of heart running through it.
Yeah, I'll agree with you, because I think that's one of the things that James Gunn does quite well, because James Gunn I think his sense of humor is not, it's not an insult to call it puerile. His sense of humor is more puerile, but he does always come up with this sort of little bit of heart thing that comes up, and I just thought it was. I personally just loved watching Drax and Mantis. Like, there's a bit where they go to LA and they're trying to find Kevin Bacon's house, and they end up in a bar, and the bit where they're walking along Hollywood Boulevard, and then people think that they're actually people in cosplay, I really like that, and I think Mantis is one of the greatest additions to any MCU property. I think Pom Klementieff, who plays her, is brilliant. I think the way she does it, just the innocence of that character is brilliant. But I love this as well. I thought it was a nice little Christmas thing that didn't end up being too cheesy. And I would give it a 4.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4.
Me too, 4.